Leo, hello and welcome to Sybella Spirit. Today we are doing a general reading. These readings are timeless, so whenever you happen upon them, it is meant to find you. We are using the Chakra Oracle cards. And these are cards that I don't use often. However, they are something I was led to at the beginning of the week. And what's funny is before I started your reading, I was feeling super excited. So maybe there's something going on in your life here that has you feeling excited, which would be lovely. For the first card, we have passion coming out. Perhaps you have been pursuing a passion recently. We have two orange cards on the board here. And so orange, of course, represents the sacral chakra, which is the center of creation, really. It's that center where we can bring our divine purpose into creation. So we can bring it into the 3D world. Then we have the impasse card. So this is a bit of almost like this guy is blocking the path. So I'm not sure if that's you're feeling like a path is blocked or you're in a state of wondering which way to go. Yeah, it's kind of an interesting energy because with the full moon behind him, it's really this sort of sense of maybe something has to be released so that you can move forward on this path. And yeah, I don't know. Okay, and then we have the vanity card. And this is the area of the throat chakra. So again, this is creation and this is expression. So creative expression. Very interesting. For me, this is the energy of maybe people see you as vain, or maybe you're having a bit of confusion about your path because you don't want to be seen as vain. These cards are really interesting because oftentimes I find that the picture does not represent what's happening with the word. Like, it says vanity, so maybe there's like a false idol. Yeah, I don't know. Things are kind of strange in the spiritual world sometimes. There's a lot of, I guess, there's like false energy in the spiritual world sometimes where people will sometimes get into a power position and they are preying on people who are vulnerable, and because they know the right words to say or they've done the research to kind of make people believe that there's some powerful spiritual guide or something, then they're able to prey on these people, and oftentimes it has to do with money and things like that. And so I don't know why I'm feeling that energy there. Curious what your guides are going to say about this. I'm really curious why the vanity card has come out. Sometimes with Leo energy, you guys are meant to be seen, and you're meant to be someone in the world that has this fiery sort of magnetic energy about you. And so maybe you're kind of struggling with that. Maybe you're struggling with how people perceive you. So another thing that's coming to mind is if you know what time you were born, you can do your birth chart. You can just Google like birth chart calculator. And if you look at where your Lilith placement is, sometimes that'll give you a clue about like an aspect of yourself that you struggle with. Like my Lilith is in Leo, and I have a really hard time putting myself out there and being the center of attention, but my guides keep trying to push me onto that path, which is why I started this YouTube channel, because I feel like I have to show up in the world to help others. But I don't like being the center of attention. So that's why I was like, okay, I'll do the YouTube channel, but I'm not showing my face. And now my guys keep saying, like, next week you're going to show your face. So next week I'm probably going to set up the camera so you guys can see me. But this is something that's really hard for me because, I don't want to be seen as vain, and I don't want to show up. I don't want people to think that, like, I don't know what it is. I've always had this feeling where since I was young, I couldn't be myself. So now that I have to be myself, it's really scary, you know? I hope you guys know what I'm saying. There's a reason I shared that story. Maybe you're feeling very similar. All right, let's get into the message here. Clear, concise messages for the sign of Leo. What do they need to know about passion? We have the Hierophant coming out. All right, maybe you've been tapping into your spiritual wisdom, which has brought you this, brought you to a place of exploring your passions. I'm suddenly getting really hot, and so maybe you've found something that brings that fiery passion into your life and you're really excited about it. And then I'm feeling like this energy of not knowing how to proceed with it and having a little bit of maybe insecurity or some questioning about this whole thing. What else do we need to know about passion for Leo? Ooh, we have the Lovers coming out. So this could indicate a soulmate type unity coming into your life, but it can also indicate that you have a choice to make. So let's see what else it says here. We have the Queen of Pentacles. This could be you. This could be someone in your life who's a very nurturing healer, who seems to have all their shit together. Someone who really embodies that energy of just being in their divine feminine type energy, where they're able to provide for themselves. They are organized. They're maybe managing their domestic duties as well as career and that type of a thing. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune. So certainly something has been unlocked within you where you have been able to turn the wheel. You've been able to, perhaps you're at a time of, at the end of a cycle. You know, I've noticed that with a lot of my friends and myself that we tend to go through these cycles, and for me, they're about every 12 years, where I have sort of like a new spiritual awakening every 12 years. I seem to spend, the in-between time really healing and addressing the shadow aspects of myself. And then once that cycle comes to an end, I'm able to take everything I've learned to turn the wheel and to bring something good into my life, whether that's, a material blessing, or whether that's, just the feeling of raising my vibration and getting that much closer to self-love. Self-love is one of my goals because it's something I've really struggled with. And so maybe that's something that you're working on too, is feeling this loving energy within yourself, healing the divine masculine and feminine within. Or maybe you are hoping to attract a divine masculine or feminine energy into your life with the Queen of Pentacles here showing up. Maybe you're focused on a higher level commitment with the Hierophant here too. You're feeling passionate about this connection. So for some of you, this is a higher level commitment. This is a soulmate level commitment, something you're feeling really passionate about, something that you've manifested into your life is love. You're ready for love. You're passionate about this person in your life. And then for others of you, this is finding that self-love within and that spiritual wisdom and connection to your higher self, which is always a good thing. Okay. I wanted to clear the cards just then because this impasse card feels like a very different energy to what we were just experiencing here. So clear, concise messages for Leo's highest good. What do they need to know about this impasse? Hermit and Strength. Okay, interesting. So in your time of introspection and self-reflection, you have understood the value of, and this is your card here, this is Leo energy. I feel that you've really been trying to build your sense of confidence and courage, and having this energetic influence over your own life where, he has this figure 8 over his head. Or is it a girl? Oh yeah, it doesn't matter. Gender doesn't matter. Anyways, there's this figure 8, and that's always like the energy that you see on the Magician card is like, I'm aware that thoughts create things and that I can create my reality. So perhaps that's something that you've been experiencing in the hermit mode is by tapping into your passionate type energy. You realize like, wow, I'm really quite powerful, not in an ego sense, but in more of a spiritual sense. And if I focus my energy, I can really create the life that I want. But the Strength card too is one. So I always think of the major arcana as like soul lessons, whereas the minor is what's happening in our day-to-day. And you have a lot of major arcana here, which tells me that you're going through a lot of soul level lessons, a soul level healing. You're tapping into the spiritual self and building that self-love and self-respect within yourself so that you can create the life of your dreams. What is this impasse card? Spirit, please be very specific. What does Leo need to know about impasse? Advice. Spirit, advice for Leo about the impasse. Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so they're saying that they want you to be very consistent in your approach to this passionate energy that you're feeling. Oftentimes, as spiritual beings, it's really great to get carried away in those dreams and to be in that higher level vibration. But we also, as humans, we need to ground that energy too, right? So it's like, I had this energy earlier where it's like, if you want to buy a house, it's not just like, I'm going to buy a house, I'm going to buy a house. Yes, you have to think positive and keep that vision as your end game goal and keep that vision in your mind. But also, in the interim, you have to create the step-by-step plan to get there, right? Like, you can't just be like, I'm going to buy a house, but never save any money. So kind of doing the math of like, how much money do I make? How much money can I afford to save every month? That's the Knight of Pentacles here showing up and sort of reminding you to be a little more practical, consistent, and reliable. This could also be someone coming into your life that has helped remind you of those qualities. And then let's move on here. We're going to clarify with another deck of tarot cards to see what else that they want to say about the impasse card. I just got the message that sometimes we stand in our own way. Perhaps there's something there you have to look within yourself with the Hermit card. There's an aspect of yourself that has yet to be healed, perhaps, that something maybe you have a bit of a blinder to at this point. Maybe it has something to do with vanity and breaking down those walls of allowing things to come in, whereas in the past, perhaps you may have blocked good things from coming in because you were not organized or did not create a plan to have this idea come into fruition. Yeah, for sure. So I didn't set an intention there. Just as I was shuffling, the devil flipped over within the deck here. So there's definitely a feeling of something that needs to be addressed. It's like there's something in you, and of course you'll know what this is in your life, perhaps, or maybe there's something that's going to come up, but maybe you do struggle with organization. Okay, clear, concise messages. What is this? Or maybe you struggle with vanity, like I said, materialism. And so maybe in your recent hermit mode, you've been guided to go within and discover that aspect of the spiritual self. Okay, clear, concise messages for vanity. What does Leo need to know about vanity and the throat chakra? Clear, concise messages for vanity. Okay. Okay. Oh, wow. 2 aces. So you have amazing things coming in. You have a Knight of Wands and the Page of Wands. Perhaps there's new love coming into your life and you've kind of been able to show yourself that self-love and self-respect in the recent past, and you've realized that you're ready for a loving relationship. Perhaps that's what you've been manifesting coming into your life, and now you have the energy coming in with the Page of Wands and the Knight of Wands, where there's someone who, or maybe perhaps 2 people coming into your life where now you're going to have to make a decision about what you really want. And that has to do with being able to be honest with ourselves and decide what is the path forward I want to take. What aspect of myself do I need to heal to ensure that I'm not making a choice out of old patterning where, you know, I used to block, you know, a really deep soulmate relationship coming in because I was worried about how things looked to others, how things appeared to others. And so Spirit wants you to remain consistent with the spiritual practices that you've recently adopted, and so that you can receive the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles, because you have new beginnings coming in both love and in your material world. And so just to be aware with the Devil of the aspect of self that we need to work on still. We are forever a work in progress, so this is certainly not something to feel ashamed about. If anything, like, I would admit this to yourself. It's not like you have to tell anybody else, like, oh, I'm really struggling with this. But just having that honesty with yourself, because with the full moon, it's like, maybe there's been a bit of an illusion that you're maintaining, but by having a consistent spiritual practice, you were able to see, like, oh, this is the one thing that I have to address that's kind of been holding me back, leaving me feeling a little bit of restriction or limitation. So yeah, I feel like the wheel is turning in your favor. You have really amazing things coming in. Spirit just wants you to remain consistent in working towards your goals and tapping into your spiritual self every once in a while so that you're not blocking these aces from coming in. All right. Thank you so much, Leo. I hope you have a wonderful day.